Thank you. There are thousands of uninsured women in Iowa. I am lucky. I am not one of these women. Many of these women are uninsured because they work in a job which does not offer benefits. They lose their insurance because of a divorce, death of a partner, or because their partner becomes Medicare age. But to me, these women are not statistics. They are mothers, sisters, daughters, and they are my patients. I am a cancer physician, and there are two undisputed medical facts that you should understand. First, early diagnosis is tied to better prognosis, less extensive, less expensive, and less complicated treatment. And lack of insurance leads to late diagnosis, poor prognosis, and more cost to our healthcare system. So let's get personal about these uninsured women. 55-year-old woman who had abnormal bleeding for 3 years. 1 of 5 women with postmenopausal bleeding will have cancer. She worked in a job, had no insurance, and avoided medical care. She subsequently bled so severely she was seen by a personal friend who got her to me as a referral. She had an endometrial cancer, a cancer that can be treated as early with a simple hysterectomy, but because of her disease, she was unable to be treated, and now we're trying to figure out how to cover her extensive treatment. 36-year-old, who I treated 5 years ago for a precancerous lesion. At that time, she had insurance. Now, with no dependent children and she's self-employed, she has no insurance. She delayed the symptoms of a recurrence for approximately 6 months. Subsequently, when she finally saw me, she had fairly extensive disease, 1 grade away from cancer. She fell through the cracks of assistance. Eventually, she and her family pooled their resources, and she was able to get some care after many months' delay. 64-year-old who had noted symptoms of ovarian cancer. She knew she was sick. She knew she needed help. She had no insurance because her husband had become Medicare age. Her only goal was to hold on till she was 65 and she would qualify for Medicare. By that time, she had extensive disease, and currently it is unsure whether she shall survive. Finally, a 59-year-old who waited until she was so weak from bleeding and pain that she was admitted to the emergency room, had extensive blood transfusions, and was found to have an inoperable cancer. We treated her with radiation emergently, and now she's finished her first phase of treatment. Unfortunately, the next phase of retreatment requires rehospitalization. Guess what? She has no insurance. We can't get her admitted. These patients are real. I have treated all of them within the last 6 months. We must acknowledge that any plan which limits care or selects one group of citizens over another will only perpetuate these situations, as noted above, and increase our overall costs of health care. Granted, we could replace Medicaid expansion with a plan that covers less, costs more, and requires people to seek care away from home or pay money which they would use for things like food and other living expenses. A healthy Iowa means healthy Iowa for all Iowans, not for select Iowans. That is why the League of Women Voters of Iowa supports Medicaid expansion, and thank you.
Thank you. Next we have on the list Dr.